This is a legit horrible way to build a DFS lineup. Like last week, I got stuck with Chris Godwin, the wrong Bucks receiver that week. I played John Ross against the Bengals for $18. Like, I would never ever do, and I have to do it just because I take them out of these stupid boxes based on a blind resume. Like, what are we even doing here? This is awful advice. But hey, let's do a segment. All right, it's week 4. We're unboxing a daily fantasy lineup. What we do here is I have a blind resume for each damn position. I'm gonna go through quarterbacks, 2 groups of receivers, 2 groups of wide receivers, and tight ends. Build a daily fantasy lineup, literally just based off a blind resume. So you got it? You keeping up with this? Good, perfect. Let's just get into quarterbacks. Quarterback 1, 2, and 3. This is our most expensive quarterback at $39. This quarterback has 23 plus fantasy points in every single game. They're 3rd in passing yards per attempt, and here in week 4, they play bottom 3rd passing defense in yards per game allowed. So good quarterback, bad matchup. You gotta like that. Quarterback number 2, $35. They have scored between 20 and 24 fantasy points in every single game. They've thrown for 300 plus yards in all 3 games, and their opponent is allowing less than 200 yards per passing game. So obviously this player is productive, but you know, they got a damn tough matchup here in week 4. You hate to see it. QB number 3. $30 over here. 16 to 21 fantasy points in every single game this season. 2 games with less than 200 passing yards. Yikes. But their opponent has yet to force an interception. Which quarterback am I gonna pick here? Well, I don't know. Honestly, none of these options seem that compelling. I have a feeling this is Tom Brady, and I'm not unboxing Tom Brady 2 weeks in a row, so that's just not gonna happen. You know, I haven't paid up for quarterback yet in any of these picks, so I'm gonna go with this $39 expensive ass quarterback. Pick here is Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott playing against the New Orleans Saints on Sunday Night Football. That's going to be an awesome game. I don't think Dak is going to be making a lot of sad faces like this, because I tell you what, that Saints defense, we talked a lot about how it's going to be an improved unit. It's been fine. It was expensive, but was it worth it? Yes. All right, I have my first group of running backs here now, which is, you know, an important position. Running back number 1 is worth $38. They have a fantasy performance in the single digits, 1 20-pointer and a 30-pointer this season, so 2 big games, 1 little one. They're averaging over 100 rushing yards per game, and their opponent has only allowed 1 rushing touchdown. I'm gonna give a wild guess and say this is Christian McCaffrey. This second running back is $31, has a fantasy result in the 10s, the 20s, and the 30s this season, another kind of up and down guy. Has at least 6 catches in every game, and their opponent has allowed at least 30 points in every game. I already feel like I like this $31 running back. And my last one, $20 running back here, averaging over 14 carries a game, received at least 6 targets in every game, and their opponent has allowed the second most rushing touchdowns. Okay, I'm gonna say right off the bat, I'm gonna not take this $38 one because I paid up for quarterback, so I wanna kind of mix it up here. Don't want to go too expensive right off the bat. This is tough though. I like the volume both these players are getting. $20 seems pretty cheap for a guy that's getting, you know, 14 plus carries, at least 6 targets in every game. Good matchup looks like. So I'm gonna go with the $31 one. This is very nice. Austin Eckler of the Los Angeles Chargers. I really like this pick. I mean, I know there's some whispers that Melvin Gordon might be coming back soon. Who cares? Eckler's been a total stud. I mean, the guy has been a true running back 1. Like, wherever you took him in your season-long fantasy draft, it was too late. He's been a total monster. No, by the way, they play the Dolphins. The Dolphins suck. All right, second group of running backs here. Running back box number 3.
I'm sorry. I'm getting lamer. You just went into this whole arm wave thing.
2, 1. Running back box number 1, $37, over 100 rushing yards in every game. That's good, by the way. 3 receptions per game, and their opponent has given up the 5th fewest rushing yards per game. I can already tell you I'm not going to pick that one. Second running back, $24 in Yahoo Daily Fantasy. 5 rushing touchdowns this season. Caught all 6 of his passing targets. Interesting. And their opponent has allowed just 1 rushing touchdown so far this year. Now, running back box number 3. 4 catches in every game, had his rush attempts increase every game this season, culminating in a 21 carry week 3 line, and his opponent is averaging 10 points allowed the past 2 weeks. So honestly, none of these guys seem to be like they're in a great matchup. This one, they said they've caught all 6 of their passing targets. Like, that's great, they've caught all their passing targets, but they're only getting 6 targets through 3 games. You don't like that. You wanna go with this guy here, the 4 catches per game. So let me just go ahead and remove that and open box number 3, my $18 running back. That's just wonderful. Check this out, my $18 running back. I'm so excited to see who it is. Aw. Really? I'm playing Philip Lindsay against the Jaguars. Cool. Hate that. See, sometimes, folks, you go cheap and you get what you pay for. So I tried to go with the cheapest running back here, and I got a guy in a timeshare on a Joe Flacco-led offense. So, great. I hate this segment. We're gonna try to rebound here with the wide receiver group. My first wide receiver group, I have a $20 wide receiver who has 21 receptions for, 21 catches for 20 plus yards since last season. Oh, okay, that makes more sense. So big play guy. I don't know how to read. Has been targeted 10 times in a close and late situations this year. So, okay, they're like when the team needs somebody, they're going to this guy. And matchup note, their opponent has allowed just one 100-yard plus receiver this season. So a little bit of a tough matchup here, but big play guy. Wide receiver number 2, $16. Has attracted double-digit targets twice this season, like the volume. Averaged 7.6 yards after the catch last season. And the defense that they're facing has allowed opponents to score more than 20 points just once this season. Okay. I have a sneaky feeling this is DJ Moore, and I really like his matchup this week, actually. So, wide receiver number 3, $17, went over 100 yards receiving for the first time this season last week, had 50-plus receiving yards in a quarter 8 times since the 2017 season, and their opponent has allowed 9 touchdown receptions this season. That's a tough one. I can already say the $20 one, no. Not gonna do that one. We've got a yards after the catch guy who's getting some volume, and we have kind of a big play guy in a good matchup. I'm gonna save the $1, and I'm gonna do the guy getting some volume because I really hate my Philip Lindsay pick, and I'm nervous about the volume he's gonna get. So let me get a receiver here who's getting some double-digit target looks. Let's unbox this $16 wide receiver. I knew it was DJ Moore. I was right about that one. Like, I love this pick. I love this. All right, for my second wide receiver group, I have wide receiver 3, 2, and 1. In box number 1, I have a wide receiver who's worth $23 in Yahoo Daily Fantasy. Has 100-plus yards in a quarter 8 times last season, so gets a lot of points in one quarter. Don't care. Has induced 28 targets this season. That is an interesting stat. Their opponent has allowed 13.7 yards per catch to wide receivers last season. Interesting. Wide receiver number 2, $22 in Yahoo Daily Fantasy, has been targeted 38 times in the red zone since the 2017 season. They have 2 receiving touchdowns this season, and their opponent has allowed just 1 receiver to go over 100 yards receiving this year. So kind of a tough matchup, not really feeling this one. My $38 wide receiver here in box number 3 has been targeted 365 times since the 2017 season. That is a lot. They have not scored a touchdown since week 1, but their opponent has allowed an average of 23.6 fantasy points per game to wide receivers since the 2017 season. So, look, I went kind of cheap at running back, went a little discount with Austin Eckler and Philip Lindsay. So I'm gonna go expensive here with my other wide receiver pick and open box number 3. All right. DeAndre Hopkins. Let me tell you why this is a great pick here. Because remember I picked DJ Moore as my other wide receiver for a little cheap price. Pay up for DeAndre Hopkins here, And we're getting, obviously, a guy who has a ton of targets. Now for the last group, of course, we have tight ends. In box number 1 here, I have a $19 tight end. He has 10 first down catches this season, has averaged a touchdown every 5 catches, so he's had 10 catches, 2 touchdowns in the 4th quarter since last season. You guys love these quarter stats. Their opponent has yet to allow a tight end to catch a touchdown. A bit of a dicey proposition there for $19. Tight end box number 2, $18 in Yahoo Daily Fantasy, has 3 touchdowns this season, has induced just 14 targets. Love the use of induce here, guys. And their opponent has allowed 4 touchdowns to the tight end position this season. I really like this one already. My final tight end in box number 3 has gained 565 yards on 34 receptions last season. That's 16 yards per catch. Has just 7 receptions this season. You don't like to see that. And their opponent has allowed 13.4 yards per reception to tight ends last season. So this one's actually pretty easy. I'm gonna go with box number 2, the $18 tight end. I'm gonna go ahead and say no to the $19 and no to the $16. Will Dissly. They've got Will Dissly at 18 damn dollars. I like this pick a lot, actually. So I think overall, I'm happy with it. Could have been better, but I'm happy with it. All right, so that's my unboxed Week 4 daily fantasy lineup based on just a blind resume. I came up with Dak Prescott at quarterback. Like that a lot. Austin Eckler at running back. Love that against the Dolphins. Phillip Lindsay against the Jaguars. Don't love that so much. $18 just down the goddamn drain. We've got, for wide receivers, love this combo. DeAndre Hopkins, DJ Moore, both in the same game. Should be a nice little shootout there. And at tight end, Will Dissly. That's fine. So that's my lineup for this week. I feel okay about it. That Phillip Lindsay pick is definitely a nightmare sort of situation. Let me know what you guys think about the lineup. Who are you playing in Yahoo Daily Fantasy this week? And while you're at it, go to yahoo.com/dailyfantasy. We have a ton of great contests. Make a better lineup than I had, that's for sure. But, maybe don't just unbox random players. Like, maybe actually do your research.